Hello viewers, welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Tekmani. I am from Department of Computer Science, Aribhat College, University of Delhi. So as you are aware that we are presently learning hypertext markup language, which is HTML, and we are going through the topic of list, and in the previous lecture we have seen one of the type of lists available in HTML, that is unordered list. And here as the agenda for this particular lecture we are going to have two topics. One is the ordered list and another one is the descriptive list. Now as you are aware that for beginning of the list we need one tag, and one tag is required for the list items. So list items are marked with li tags, or we can say list items are given inside the opening and closing of the li tag. And as in the previous lecture we have started our unordered list with the tag ul. For ordered list we are going to use the tag ol, and each and every list item will be marked with the numbers by default. So earlier in our unordered list, the by default shape of the bullet was the filled circular bullets. Here the by default, because this is an ordered list, so ordered list means we are having kind of a specific sequence, or we can say sequence here is important. So the list items will be marked with the numbers by default, which is we can say 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth. So in order to create one ordered list, let's see the code. So doc type HTML we have, then HTML body, and within the H2 I have written a message. And what is important here is the code of, so ordered list is OL, and each and every item which was which is to be coded is written between the opening and closing of the li tag. And after having all the items on board, we can close the ordered list tag by /ol, which is written just below the closure of body and HTML. So you can see ordered list, and please remember here that presently we have not used any attribute of ol tag. It is just an ol tag simple. We will be using its attribute in a short while. So within the opening and closing of ol tag we have various list items, and each and every list item is the we can say is written inside the your li tag, opening and closing. So here we can see HTML is very simple to code. Then what is going to be the output? As it is an ordered list, the output will be shown by default with the numbering, which is 1, 2 and 3 for tea, coffee and milk, or whatever items you have written. So we have not coded, if you can see this code which is available on the screen, we have not written anywhere that what numbers are to be used, but yes, we will be we can say customizing them in a short while. So by default it is using 1, 2 and 3 as the bullets, or as the numberings of for an ordered list. Now coming to what if we want to what if we want to change these numbering? For example, we don't want to have this 1, 2, 3. So here are we can say type attributes which are available in order to change the numbers. So if we want, by default is type is equals to 1. So if we say type is equals to 1, the list items will be numbered with number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth, whatever list items you have given. Then if we if we write type is equals to capital A, then list items will be numbered with the uppercase letters, as in capital A, capital B and capital C, so on and so forth. if we write type is equals to small a, then it will take the command accordingly and list will be numbered in the lowercase letters. And if the type is equals to the 1 is basically an uppercase Roman number the way we write it. So type is equals to 1, for this is for uppercase Roman numbers. So here we will be typing the letter I. So then your browser will, kind of, we can say, take the command, or browser will understand that the list items will be numbered with uppercase Roman numbers. And if we have written type is equals to small I, that means the list items will be numbered with lowercase Roman numbers. And we will be kind of taking these examples or taking these commands one by one in a short while. So these are the value of the type attribute. Now I have already told you in the previous lecture that type attribute is replicated in HTML5. So here you can use the command which I told you in the previous lecture, that is style is equals to list style type colon 1 or list style type colon a, capital A or capital I or small I, whatever you want to have it. So what I am trying to say is, if you are using any version which is before HTML5, you can directly use this type as an attribute of ordered or unordered list tag. But if you are using HTML5, your browser may not be able to recognize this type attribute. In order to change the type attribute in HTML5, you need to write this within the style tag. So that you need to check that which version you are going to use, and according to the version you need to write the command. So if I am going to use type is equals to a, so this will be the output. I'll be having in order list with letters which is A, B and C, capital A, capital B and capital C. This is the we can say output when we say ordered list type is equals to capital A, and it will understand, your browser will understand that you want to number your items of an ordered list by starting with A. Now if we write an kind of ordered list with lowercase letters, so basically if we want to have type is equals to small a, what are we going to write? We will be writing ordered list type is equals to small a. So in case of small a, this will be the output A, B, C as in small letters. Another version which was available for type attribute, or another value which was available for the type attribute is capital I. So capital I, if we are going to give, then we are going to have the uppercase Roman numbers as shown on the screen, which is ordered list with Roman numbers 1, 2 and 3. And if we are going to write the small I, that means the ordered list with the small Roman numbers as shown on the screen will will be displayed or will be created. So this, we can say, the creation of ordered list or creation of unordered list is very, very simple in HTML. We just need to write the items as we have seen previously also. So I am just kind of recapping the code for ordered list once again. So ordered list is OL. Each and every list item will be given inside the tags of li opening and li closing. And if we want to change the by default numbering, which is 1, 2, 3, then as the attribute of OL we need to write this, that is OL type is equals to whatever you want to write. If you want to write 1, that is the by default behavior, or if you want to write capital A, small a, or if you want to write capital I or small I corresponding to Roman numbers. So you can do that, and the outputs I have already shown you that what will be the output if you say capital A, or this is the output if you will say type is equals to small a, or you can have output type is equals to capital I, which will kind of indicate the Roman numbers in uppercase, and the Roman numbers in lowercase will be kind of taken up by this small I. Type is equals to small I attribute. So that means the value of the type attribute of oval tag will be taken as small I, capital A, or small a, whatever. So now after kind of clearing these two we can say versions of the list or types of the list, which are ordered list and unordered list, we can kind of slightly modify this ordered list. So by default, see what is happening, every time it is starting from 1, 2 and 3, and what if you have a requirement of a control list counting. Control list counting, basically it is not going to start the list counting from 1. It may have other number in order to start the list counting. It could be 10 or it could be 50. So if we say the if we need to customize our ordered list like this, that means it should not start with 1. Rather than 1, it should start with any other number. So the key attribute which we need to kind of modify, or which we need to tweak, is your start attribute. So we can always write OL start is equals to 50, or from whichever number if you want to start. Then this is going to kind of give you the output 50, 51, 52. You can try it this as please try it yourself. Then apart from that, not only in the numbering, if we are going to say type is equals to capital A and we want our list counting to start from F, we can say start is equals to capital F. The only thing which you need to remember is please don't contradict the start as and the type attribute. The type attribute will take kind of will overtake the start attribute. For example, if you are going to write type is equals to I and start is equals to 50, then please try this on your HTML, in your HTML coding, that what kind of response it is going to give. But I would suggest that in order to have a proper list, please your start attribute and your type attribute should be in consonance with each other. So here I have just written start attribute because of the simple reason that 1, 2, 3 is the numbering which is given by default. So I have just started, I have mentioned the value of the start attribute, and I have not mentioned value of the type attribute, because type attribute I am not changing here. Type attribute is the by default, which is 1, 2, 3, and then this will kind of start the list counting by 50, 51, and the third item will be 52. This is going to happen if we use this start attribute, and this process is known as control list counting. So now till this point we have seen the ordered list and unordered list. So unordered list we have seen in the previous lecture, so ordered list we have seen here, and we have covered the attributes of the OL type in which we have changed the sequence numbering from A to capital A to small a, from 1 to maybe in Roman numbers. Now, as in the previous lecture with the unordered list, we have seen one kind of list, a concept of a nested list, which is a list within the list. So here also we are going to see how this nested list is going to work with the OL tag. or here you can see we have started with the tag OL. Then within this LI, first item is coffee, and within T, let's say now if we want to have one at 1 the black tea and at 2 the green tea. So LI opening, and then I have written T. Please remember there is no LI closing for T yet, that is going to follow soon. Then we have ordered list, and within that ordered list I have written 2 items properly within the list item tags. One is the black tea, another one is the green tea, or whatever items you want to have. Then /OL, /OL is basically closure of your closure of your ordered list, which is of black tea and green tea, that means the immediate one. And then after OL I have written /I. Now this /LI is corresponding to the closing list item tag of the item number 2, which is T. So basically what I am trying to emphasize here is we have opened the T item, and we will not be closing the T item unless we are going to write the kind of sub list or the nested list first. So within the opening of that particular list item you need to write, or you need to insert the whole code for the nested list, and then after only you will be able to, or you need to close the LI tag. Then the third LI tag is simple, nothing new here. The only newer portion is the nested list. So this nested list will be displayed as you can see it on the screen. We have 1 as coffee and 2 as tea, and within that tea we have 2 items. One is black tea and 2 is green tea. Third one is the item which is the item of the outside list, and that is milk. Now one thing which I would like to emphasize here, that it is not something like that if you are having an ordered list then you can have only ordered list as its nested list, or vice versa for unordered list also. No, it's not like that. So let's say if we want to have item number 1 as coffee, item number 2 as tea, and within that item number 2 I want to have simple bullets instead of 1 and 2 for black tea and green tea, that is also perfectly fine. So you can have an ordered list within an unordered list, or vice versa you can have an unordered list within an ordered list, that is perfectly fine. So nesting is not going to prevent you from inserting one type of list into another one, that is perfectly allowed. What you need to be careful is just of the kind of opening and closing tags of the items in which you need to insert the sub list. Rest everything is very, very simple. That's the point of kind of care which you need to see. So now we have seen unordered list in the previous lecture, and this lecture we have completed ordered list along with its kind of we can say variations, and we have also seen the nested versions of ordered list. Now the third type of list which is remaining is the description list. So HTML also supports the description list. Let us try to understand what is the description list. So description list is basically a list in which each and every list item is having its own description. So this description could be of few terms. This description could be of few one line, or maybe some of the couple of lines, or this description could be of 2-3 paragraphs, that is also allowed. So for example, if we can say item number 1 and whatever details in the paragraph form, if we want to have under that item number 1, we will be using the description list. Now for unordered list we have used the tag UL. Similarly for the description list the tag here is DL, and now here it is not just a list item but the two things. One is the term, or we can say one is the item, and another one is the description which is associated with that particular item. So now our kind of task will not be done with the just li tag in which the li shows the list item. Here we have the description term which is going to be the list item, and then we have the description. dd is for the description of the descriptive list which is going to describe each and every term. So here we have three, we can say, tags. One is the DL which defines the description list. It is similar to OL and UL in case of ordered list and unordered list. Now in place of list items we will be using DT in order to show the term, and whatever description we want to write, that will be enclosed inside the tag DD. Now let's try to see the kind of code for this particular descriptive list. So we have doc type HTML, then HTML and body, and description list we are going to begin. So I have written it inside a heading, maybe H2 or H1. Now please remember, we are going to start our description list or descriptive list by DL. Then we have one item which is coffee, and it is shown, or it is enclosed inside the DT tag, opening and closing. So before coffee, that is DT opening, and after coffee, that is DT closing. That is the term of that particular list. Now whatever description we want to write, here we have written a very short description which is just the black hot drink, and that description is written inside the DD tags, inside the opening and closing of the DD tags. Now this could be terms, this could be a number of terms, this could be a number of lines, or this could be a number of paragraphs. Whatever material you want to write within the DD, you are free to use that. Then the next item, so and you need to close this DD. So please remember this DL, DT and DD which corresponds to description list, term and the description data. So description list, description term and description data all has to be kind of enclosed within the paired text. So DL, DT and DD are paired text. Now the second kind of item begins, that is DT milk, and then term is being closed here, but we still need to write DD which is the description data, and we can say a white cold drink. For coffee we have written kind of, we can say, relevant material which is black hot drink, and then we have closed this /DD both at both the places, for the description of coffee as well as for the description of milk as well, and we have closed the DL tag also. So in order to kind of, we can say, in order to learn or in order to understand it more, let us try to recap this once again. So within DL and /DL, that is opening and closing DL, we have written data term, description term which is DT, and the first description term is coffee, and description term will be closed before opening of description data. So earlier it is not like a nested list in which we will be kind of closing the description term or the description DT tag after DD. No, it's not like that. So the first item is coffee, so description tag coffee, then /description tag closed, then we have description data which will be kind of the data under the item coffee, whatever data you want to write, however long it could be. Then we have the next item which is milk within the opening and closing DT tags, and within the opening and closing DD tags we have the description of milk. Now the body is closed and HTML is closed, and before that you need to close the description list. So the output which will be given by this is something of this sort. So you can say here is a description list. So now you have coffee, and within that coffee, or we can say for the description of this item, or for the description of this term coffee, we have black hot drink, and as the description of milk we have white cold drink. So a complete description list. Coffee and milk are descriptive terms, or we can say description terms, while the kind of written material which is written black hot drink and white cold drink are description data associated with the description term coffee and the description term milk respectively. So this is going to be the output. So in this way you can have whatever description, however long it is you want to have, you can have it. It should not be remained only to 2-3 lines or 2-3 terms. It could be long also. So in order to recap the lecture, we have seen, let me summarize here what we have covered in this lecture. We have covered the concept of ordered list, and within the ordered list we have seen various type attributes. Type attribute capital A, small a. Then we have seen type attribute of capital I and small I corresponding to the Roman numeral letters, and by default we have 1, 2, 3. We have also seen the concept of nested list. Apart from that, we have seen the control list counting. If we want to we don't want to start it from 1, 2, 3, we can start from whichever number or whichever letter we want to. That could be achieved. And finally, towards the end of the lecture, we have seen the third type of a list, which is a description list. And description list is basically consisting of 3 tags. One is your description list, in which all the items will be kind of enclosed, then a descriptive term, and then a description data. So these all things we have covered in this particular lecture, and here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of this lecture. Hope you have enjoyed. Happy learning. Thank you.